you guys, it's Amy with myths and legends from all over the world. This is short story number 3, and again, we are in Taiwan. The short story is HoKo Po. In English, it's The Tigress Witch. And I really love this story because it's really scary. Yeah, I like scary stories, okay? And HoKo Po is, as you know, a witch story. And you can find witch stories all over the world, actually. Each country has their own witch story. And it's really interesting for me because it shows the culture. Parents would tell their children this story so that they behave well, right? They don't go out, they don't explore on their own. In this case, this story, they don't open the door to strangers. So for this story, please go ahead and listen to the questions and write them down. Don't forget. That way it's easy to pick up the questions while you are listening to the story. So question number 1, who were the main characters? What kind of life did they have? Number 2, who came to the door? Who did she pretend to be, and what did she look like? Number 3, how did the sisters react to the old woman's explanation? Number 4, who was eaten first? Okay, you know the end now. I think you can guess. Number 5, what did the living sister do to escape from the old woman? Okay, so first listen to the vocabulary, and then I will tell you the story. Okay, here's the vocabulary. It's kind of a long list, so just take your time, and if there are words that you don't know, go ahead and write them down in your notebook, okay? Tigress, a female tiger. The lazy tigress was taking a nap next to the river. Devour, to eat greedily. We thought that big cake would last at least a week, but he devoured it in less than a day. Instruct, to give directions. The students were instructed to close their books and stop talking. Wrinkled, having lots of wrinkles. The old man had a wrinkled face but kind eyes. Explanation, the act of explaining. I heard his explanation of what happened that night, but I still don't believe him. Chew, to bite and grind with your teeth. My mother always told me to chew my food thoroughly before swallowing it. Roasted, cooked with dry heat, usually in an oven. Although fried chicken is more delicious, roasted chicken is definitely healthier. Expect, to regard something as probably or unlikely. The weatherman told us to expect rain tomorrow, so I will bring an umbrella. Ginger root, a common seasoning and medicinal root used in Asian cooking. When I have a cold, my Taiwanese friend always tells me to drink tea with added ginger. Dawn, to become clear. While I was taking care of my little cousin, it dawned on me that I don't want to have children of my own. Bellow, to shout loudly. The tired mother bellowed at her children to stop running around the supermarket. Nature, most important qualities and characteristics of something. The young woman's nature is very kind and gentle. No wonder she is a nurse. Reasonable, showing reason or sound judgment. Considering how nice the neighborhood is, I think the apartment's price seems reasonable. Unleash, to release from a leash or rope. When there are other dogs at the park, I keep the leash on my puppy, but I unleash him when we are alone outside. Container, any object that can be used to hold things. I usually bring my lunch to work in a plastic container. Footprint, a mark of a foot or shoe on a surface. The woman could see another set of footprints in the snow and wondered who had been walking outside her house. Trunk, the main stem of a tree. The canoe was made from a trunk of a tree, so it's very thick. Solution, a method for solving a problem. Your math book should have the solutions in the back page for you to check your answers. Torment, to torture or harass for a long time. The idea of you dating someone else torments me. Mouthful, the quantity that can be held in the mouth. The young man drank a mouthful of beer and immediately spit it out. The Tigress Witch, HoKo Po. A long time ago, many people in Taiwan believed in different spirits, gods and goddesses, ghosts, and witches. They believed in the sun god, moon god, earth god, rock god, tree god, and even animal gods and goddesses. They even believed that when an animal became old enough, it would possess a strange ability to change itself into a human being that would then devour other humans. Once upon a time there was a lady in Taiwan. She lived in a house deep in the mountains with her two daughters. The older daughter was called Akim and the younger daughter Agiok. They were poor, but their daily life was peaceful and happy. One day, the mother had to make a trip to the city. She was very worried about her daughter's safety, so she told them to lock the door and not to open it for anyone while she was gone. After the mother left, the two daughters did as they were instructed. Not long later, someone came to the door and began to knock loudly. Bong, bong, bong. The elder daughter, Akim, woke up first and was scared. She hugged her younger sister, Agio, tightly. Neither girl knew what to do. Then the person outside the door began to call out loudly, "Open the door! Open the door! I am your mother!" The sisters moved closer to the door and said, "You are not Mama. You wouldn't be back so soon." But the person knocked harder and called out loudly, "I am your Mama. I thought you would be scared, so I came back quickly to see you." The sisters thought that it might be true, so they unlocked the door. As they opened the door and saw that the person wasn't their mother, they tried to close the door, but it was too late. The person outside pushed the door open and entered quickly. Her hair was white as snow, and her face was wrinkled like a cat. "Who are you?" the sisters asked. "Don't be scared. I am your great aunt. I live behind the mountain. I haven't visited you for a long time. Today I passed by your house, so I came to see you." After hearing the explanation, the sisters felt less afraid. Agiok was young and naive, and she was happy to see this great aunt, but Akim was much older and wiser, and she did not believe it. Akim wondered why their mother never mentioned to them that they had a great aunt. It was very late, and Agiok wanted to go back to sleep, so she slept in the same bed as her great aunt. However, Akim was still suspicious and went to the next room to sleep by herself. At midnight, Akim woke up and heard strange noises coming from the room Agiok slept in. Chomp, chomp. It sounded like someone chewing roasted peanuts or like dogs chewing bones. Finally, Akim asked loudly, "Great aunt, what are you eating?" The great aunt had not expected Akim to wake up during the night. Surprised, she quickly answered, "Oh, I am chewing some ginger roots. They are very hard, hot, and bitter, not for children to eat." Akim could not believe the great aunt. She insisted to the old lady that she wanted to try some ginger roots too. Finally, the great aunt threw over a piece for Akim. When Akim picked it up, it was a piece of a finger. It finally dawned on her what was going on. "Oh, little sister Agiok must have been eaten by the old woman. I've got to escape." A little while later, Agiok said to the great aunt, "Great aunt, I have to go to the bathroom and wash my hands." "No," the great aunt bellowed, finally showing her true nature. She was not their great aunt at all. She was an old tigress witch. "You will be my breakfast. How can I let you go? You might try to sneak away." Akim was very smart and answered again, "If you don't want me to escape, why don't you tie a rope to my leg? Then I will have no way to escape." The tigress witch thought for a moment and judged this offer reasonable. She tied the rope around Akim's leg and held the other end in her hand to allow Akim to go wash her hands. As soon as Akim reached the bathroom, she unleashed the rope from her leg and tied it to the edge of the water container. Then she escaped through the window and hid in the top of a tree. The tigress witch waited for a long time and finally pulled the rope, hearing the water sound. She waited for a few more minutes while chewing on the fingers and then wondered why Akim was spending such a long time in the bathroom. She went over to check on Akim and realized that Akim had escaped. She tracked Akim's footprints and found Akim hiding in the tree close by. The tigress witch could not climb a tree that high, so she began to chew the trunk of the tree with her sharp teeth. Akim looked down and knew she would fall out of the tree if the witch continued to chew it to pieces. Calmly, she thought of a solution. Great Aunt, you don't have to chew the tree trunk so much. I am willing to come down and let you eat me. The only problem is that I haven't eaten in a long time. I am so hungry that if you eat me now, I will become a hungry ghost, and I will forever follow you and torment you. If you boil a bucket of peanut oil for me, I'll fry some birds here and eat them. When my stomach is full, you can then eat me without any worry. The tigress witch thought this was a very wonderful idea. She boiled a bucket of peanut oil and sent it up to Akim. After a while, Akim called out, I am ready to jump down now. Open your mouth. When the tigress witch heard this, she opened her mouth, thinking that she would be eating Akim. Instead, the stupid tigress witch got a whole mouthful of boiling peanut oil and died instantly. Okay, now for the listening questions and answers. Number 1, who were the main characters and what kind of life did they have? The 2 main characters were called Akim and Agiok. I hope I'm saying the names correctly. If you know how to pronounce them, please let me know. Yeah. So they lived a poor but peaceful life, and we learned this in the first part of the story. Number 2, who came to the door? Who did she pretend to be? And what did she look like? Okay, so this is when the story becomes interesting, right? An old woman came to the door. She first said that she is their mother, which was really weird, I think very strange. Then that she is their great aunt. So she changed her story. She can't even keep it in her mind. If you're gonna eat children, you should at least come up with a game plan. Anyway, she had white hair and looks like a wrinkled cat. I love that line, a wrinkled cat. I'm just imagining just like really scary old lady. Yeah. Okay, number 3, how did the sisters react to the old woman's explanation? They felt less afraid of the old woman and decided to open the door for her. Agiok even slept in the same bed as the old woman. So, because I'm American, culturally, we do not sleep in the same bed as our relatives. So, when I first read that, I was like, wow, that is not a good idea. But even if you are Taiwanese, would you sleep in the same bed as a stranger, even if they say that they are your relative? I hope the answer is no for you. And for Agiok, I'm sorry, man, but you really did this to yourself. It's your own fault. I'm sorry. Number 4, who was eaten first? Of course, Agiok. Dumb. Not very smart. She was eaten first because she slept in the same bed as the witch. Number 5. What does the living sister do to escape from the old woman? Akim asked to go to the bathroom and tried to escape through the window, but the witch found her in the tree and stopped her. Then Akim asked the witch to give her some peanut oil, which she then poured into the witch's mouth. That is a bad way to die, I think, but I guess the witch deserved it. She wanted to eat the two girls, so I guess she should die in a horrible way. And in the end, I think Akim survived, right? She saved herself, so pretty smart girl, I think. Okay, so the last part is pronunciation. Listen and repeat. Okay, here we're doing pronunciation. I'll go over the sentences and could you just please repeat after me and be really careful about the words that I tell you specifically. Okay, so number one, just listen. One day the mother had to make a trip to the city. Okay, so there are a couple words that you should be careful about. The first one is mother. So again, the TH sound, it has to be very soft. Mother, mother, the mother. And another one is a trip to the city. So in American English, we say city. We don't say city, so try city, city. And this phrase, a trip to the city, you'll notice that to, and the are spoken really quickly. And to specifically becomes ta, a trip to the city. Okay, a trip to the city. All right, so let's say the sentence again. Listen and repeat. One day, the mother had to make a trip to the city. Okay, number two. Open the door, open the door. I am your mother. Okay, so open the door. Open the door. Please be careful of the TH sound. When you read it slowly, it's quite easy to say the, but when you read it quickly, sometimes students, they say da or za. But you really have to say that with a the sound, okay? So make it very soft. Open the door. Open the door, okay? And then the second sentence, I am your mother. So in English, we don't say your. We don't say your, we say your. Your. I am your mother. Okay? So let's put all of this together for number two. Please listen and repeat. Open the door. Open the door. I am your mother. Okay? Number three. Listen. Her hair was white as snow, and her face was wrinkled like a cat. Okay. So the first word that I want you to practice is white. White. You'll notice there's no T. We don't say white. We just take it out. I don't know why. So as white as snow. Yeah, just like that. And another word is face. Face, not fess. Make sure the A is very strong and loud. Long. And the way that you do it is make your mouth really wide. Face, face. Yeah, just like that, okay? So one more time, please listen and repeat this time. Her hair was as white as snow, and her face was wrinkled like a cat. Okay, number four. Akim could not believe the great aunt. Okay, so the word that I want you to look at is great aunt. So two words together, right? But you'll notice that we don't say great aunt. We take out the T's, just like white in number three, right? We say great aunt. We take it out, okay? Great aunt, great aunt. Okay, so let's say the whole sentence again. Listen and repeat this time. Akim could not believe the great aunt. Okay, and last one, number five, please listen. She boiled a bucket of peanut oil and sent it up to Akim. Okay, so what I want you to practice is a bucket of, a bucket of. So again, we take out the T. We don't say bucket, we say bucket. Okay, a bucket of, a bucket of, okay? And then sent it up. We actually don't say sent. We say sent it up, sent it up. So it becomes one word, sent it, okay? Sent it up, just like that, yeah. So please practice the sentence with me. Listen and repeat. She boiled a bucket of peanut oil and sent it up to Akim. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this story, and if you want to learn more, we have other stories that you can listen to. Goodbye, everyone.